No, in English. Kitchen. But I wrote it. It doesn't work? Okay. Well, no, it works. Okay. Well, let me start going even beyond what was saying Tommaso. We live in an era of very deep-going capitalist transformation. And the actual crisis is only one path, but it's a very deep-going transformation process, and we don't know where it ends for the moment. What we know is that there is on one hand the financialization of capitalism, which is putting under pressure even the traditional capitalism that we know. Means there is the contradiction between capital and labor is no more in front. It's an ongoing, enormous and deep-going devaluation process of labor. And in my reception, all kind of common strategies under this regime are strategies of resistance against destruction. And resistance against destruction in very different fields. It wasn't mentioned in this context, in this seminar, really the environmental dimension, which is one of the fundamental dimensions of commons I know. I reflect the common discussions in the content of the World Social Forum's process, where in 2008 in Belém, for the first time, there was a pronunciation of the commons as the central development paths to confront destruction of the world in very different areas. And personally, I work with initiatives in Latin America, in Southeast Asia, in India, and other regions of the world. And there are so many local initiatives we can't imagine, from fishermen in Southeast India trying to defend their access to the coast and commoning in this way, to social housing projects in the ghettos of Manila, to what told us Dario yesterday about Latin America, to the Argentinian workers' recuperated companies. And in Europe, I have to say, it's not by just for nothing that we are here in Italy, because with the referendum on water and the discussions, advanced discussions in Italy are going on, this is really a step which is essential. I think what is new for me in this debate, and I'm very happy to participate in this seminar, is that the workers' recuperated companies take part in the commons. And Dario gave us a definition which is, for me, it's genius. Because he's saying creating worker recuperated companies to create work on an autonomous and self-managed level, on a social level, means that this is a kind of new dimension how to work and how to produce, And this is inclusive, it's not exclusive, it's not private, it's a common good that is becoming a common good not only for those who realize it, and I know by all your examples you gave from Greece and from Argentina, it's a very hard process to do it. But it's an example that gives a kind of vision, not only for those realizing those projects, but for many, many people. And so it becomes a common. And that's new in the debate. And I hope that we will discuss the social commons in this way too, so that we can define, and the power of definition is one of the powers, only very few powers we have for the moment, that we can define it in this way that people, it's clear, what does it mean, social commons? And not only in the, let's say, to the conflict of capital and labor-related way. What I'm seeing in all these initiatives, and there are set up some networks, as Chantal and Roberto are trying to organize, as others, Silke Helfrich from the Well Foundation tries to organize, we, Officine and me, try to organize, but it's very small. And what we really would need for the moment, because we are not yet at the point of political revolution, as said this morning, Massimo, the point we could reach with all efforts we make could be a kind of social revolution. But it's not, we are not yet, because all the left, especially in Europe, is failed in, let's say, in the last 20 years. It's not, we are not in a position of offensive. We are in a position of defensive, in a defensive state. So if we could read that we should have a kind of own public process. And this public process is not only the kind of commoning between us commoners, it's something that gives access to a wider public. So this is what I see as a task, perhaps to set up and to think. And there are a lot of IT specialists and web specialists in commoning, so we should discuss this, how to make visible the different and the rich diversity and the perspectives of commons and commoning. One problem we have, and we have not only in Europe, is the problem of language. Internationally, we only can connect if we are all English, because, and you always have to have the core people who can translate it into the national or local languages, because commoning and common activities are mostly very local. So how to connect an initiative of Sicilian fishermen with the fishermen in India? It's very difficult to do that. But at least there should be a kind of platform, and there should engage. I'm already over my time. Okay, two words. We should engage that we, sometimes able to translate things, should engage in these processes of to make possible communication and connection and networking on a deeper level than on this kind of European or international level. So one last word. I think these strategic debates on commoning, never forget that it's a very diverse picture we have of commons. And never forget that the commons debate largely was initiated not by Europeans but by indigenous and World Social Forum initiatives. And if we make part in this anti-globalization process with Commoning and Commons, I think we have, there is one next stop, and this will be the World Social Forum in Montreal. And whoever has the opportunity and possibility to go there, please put it forward. Thank you.